Hi all, so welcome to the today's tutorial. So in previous tutorial we have pretty much covered everything related to the vectors. So today we will start a new module in which we will study about lines. So first we will cover the difference between line and array. So when we talk about line, so line and the difference between line and array is by default inside Unreal we always depict like vector start from 0 0 or the origin. So give me a second, let me, so this, so let's imagine if this is xy. So this array, we can easily say, okay, let's imagine this is like 400 comma 400 and this is x, this is y. And we are not taking care about the starting point. But when we are talking about the line itself, like a line can start from anywhere and it will have the starting point and the end point. And how we will depict the line inside our code. So it will have a starting point A and it will have a vector. Let's imagine U. So the end point will be, let's imagine if we have the vector and the starting point array, the end vector will be A plus U. Okay, so this will be our endpoint. So let's imagine we are calling it as B. And if what if we have B, A and B, but we don't have U, how we will calculate it? We have already covered it. So we want this. So it will be like B minus A, right? So the U vector will be B minus A. Okay. So I hope you have understand the point, like how we can represent the lines in our code. So let's start with the coding section. I will create one C++ class inside MathLab and we will call it as mLine. Perfect. First, we will have the three variable vector because so here we are talking about the point. So it will have the starting point, right? One vector. It will have the vector, line vector, vector, and it will have the endpoint. So these three things will be there, and using any two like a starting point and the line vector, we can calculate the third point. Okay, so let's create a constructor mline. So let's imagine if we are providing the starting point, comma m vector, end point, comma bool b is end point. So starting point will be the underscore starting point. For the next two things, we will extend it. So the starting will remain the same when we are initializing this class. So we can define the line two types, right? If we do have the endpoint, if yes, so we will provide the a third variable as true. So if be endpoint, if it is defined, that means we, like this point is the endpoint. So the line vector will be endpoint point minus starting point. Okay, and the endpoint will be our given endpoint. Okay, and we can also define it as, let's imagine if I do want to provide the starting point of our vector, let's imagine this, and the vector itself. So this will also be a line in which I am not providing the end point, but I'm providing a vector and the starting point. So for this, what we have to do, the line vector is given as endpoint, and endpoint will be starting point plus line vector. We have already covered this part, yeah? So this is pretty much done from our side. Line vector. Okay. we haven't, okay, we don't have the default constructor mm, for vectors. So what I will do, I will include one vector in which we will initialize x equals to y equals to z equals to 0. So by default it will always be 0 comma 0 comma 0. Perfect. Now the error should be gone. hmm So this is pretty much done, and next we will see how we can draw the line. So void draw line, and it will take the world parameter u world parameter world. So actually what we can do, we have created the same thing when we were creating the vector. So I will just copy and paste everything, and it will be a const vector. Alt enter, generate definition. The only difference between this function and the vector function is like when we were drawing the vector, in our case we were also drawing the point, but in this case it is not like that. So draw line, we just want to draw the line, and we don't need the starting point because we already have that, because we know when we are drawing the line we will have the starting point and the end point will be the vector. So we need the end point. So starting point plus we want the vector, so line vector, and it will draw the line. I think this should do the task. So let's hop back to our game mode and let's see if it is working or not. I will just remove everything. Okay, yes, and I will define one line, m line, and line 1, and we will initialize it as so it we need to provide the starting point and the ending point. Starting point comma ending point, and I do want to provide it as the endpoint. So first point will be like 0 comma 0 comma 0. So in this case it will be the origin, and the endpoint will be like 500 comma 0 comma 0. So this is actually the x-axis and it is true. So this will draw the line. Nope, this won't draw the line, and I will draw the line like this. Okay, let's see if we can, if it is working fine or not. So let me compile. Yes, and it is drawing perfectly, and this is the 500 unit. Okay, perfect. And if we will go the perspective view, it is looking fine, and it doesn't have any direction. That's why we don't include the sphere which was there in the vector. And there's one more thing actually. So whenever we are writing log, it is quite big line which I am writing again and again. So what we can do in Util class here, we haven't included anything yet. So uh, static void. So it's a util class which we will use. So all the code which are repeating again and again for that. So dm, and it will take const f a string, a message. It will be a const. Okay, it's already static, so it won't make sense. Okay, alt enter, generate definition. So what I will do, I will again copy this and we'll replace it with Vincent S, and instead of this we just want to print the message, and this will do the task. So whenever we do want to use the UI log, we can just type dm utils dm. This is something which I do want to print. Okay, so let's test. Okay, this is working fine. And there's one more thing which I do want to do. It's not printing anything to the screen, but I do want to print something on this, viewport. So for that, what we need to do, I am thinking to include something. Give me a second. Okay. With the UI log, I will also get the G engine. So if G engine is there, so it is the Unreal G engine I'm talking about. If it is valid, then G engine dot message add draw. Sorry, it was draw. No, add on screen debug message. Yes. Key -1 comma time to display 5 seconds. Color have color red comma near on the top. I think message. This will do the task. We can remove this. So what it will do, it will also print the value on the top of the viewport. And one more thing, hash define dm mdm is equals to dm. Okay. Actually, first try without this, then we will come back and check. Compile and see, this is working good. But I do want one more thing. I don't want to print like still I don't want to write this, so we can actually use hash define. Okay, so actually I have to restart my system because of some error. So now the DM is working fine from the utility, but just to make it more simple, so what I will do, I will hash define mdm because DM is already defined. So mdm will define it function like this, mdm x and mutils colon dm colon x. So what it will do, we can just use this function. It will call this function. Okay, so instead of this, what I can do, mdm bracket, this is something good. It will do the same task. When I will control, it will just point me to this. So again, compile, succeeded, play, and this is working fine. So I hope this is making sense to you, and if you have some issue while understanding the concept, let me know and I will try to clarify it as soon as possible. So this was it for today. Thank you and have a nice day. Do like, do subscribe and support me on Patreon. Thank you and have a nice day.